Blueface doesn't seem active in the child's life because of his disability. My son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... But it's like,
don't tell me.
I ain't saying, not even just that. It's like saying if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Anybody, if they're guessing or whatever, no, the word said what the word said.
You're telling me if you take your kid to a medical professional and they do brain scans and examine this child and they determine that this child has a disability or is not going to function at the same cognitive level as a normal, healthy child would, you're just like, F it, they're hating. They just trying to speak ill on my child. They're just trying to hate on my child.
Kruger, man.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back, man. In today's video, we'll be reacting to Young Dawn reacting to a video. They're just basically talking about Chrisean Rock and how she destroyed her baby's life before the baby was even conceived by her poor decisions during pregnancy. But without further ado, let's check it out.
Your son is not going to end up walking and talking and having an above 100 IQ one day so that you can turn around and tell all the haters, look what God did in my son's life. No, in fact, you continuing along with this bullshit is actually going to ensure that he's even more disabled than he would have had to be had he received some kind of help and assistance while he was still in his formative years. And so that is what it is, and you have to accept that. So yesterday I came across a post on Twitter that made me both sad and angry. And at first it made me angry, but then I felt more sad than I was angry, and so I didn't talk about it. But today I'm ready to talk about it. And the post that I'm talking about, it's a clip of Chrisean Rock speaking about her son. And the reason this post made me angry and sad at the same time, well, once you see the clip, you'll see exactly why it is that it made me so upset. But in a nutshell, she is going to be talking about her son. Her son, who is almost 3 years old, still not able to talk, still not able to walk. And she is ignoring the fact that her son has a disability. Doctors have told her that her son is disabled, and the reason she wants to ignore the fact is because she doesn't want to take responsibility or accountability for the decisions that she made while she was pregnant, which led to her son being disabled, that being the lifestyle she lived, the drinking and the smoking. And so that's why this shit pissed me off, man. It pissed me off because not only were you so reckless, not only were you so irresponsible with the way you handled your pregnancy, but now you are going to deny that boy what little help he can get by having some kind of professional work with him in regards to his disability. And so that's why I was pissed and saddened by this, because now this boy, the quality of his life is unnecessarily going to be worse off and more difficult than it needed to be, and even more so because of how she's handling it now. And of course, she's bringing Jesus into the mix. Of course, Christianity comes along to make it a bad situation even worse. So let's go ahead and listen to this this clip, and y'all tell me what you think.
Accept what you... Blueface doesn't seem active in the child's life because of his disability. My son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... But it's like,
don't tell me.
I ain't saying, not even just that. It's like saying if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Anybody, if they're guessing or whatever, no, the word said what the word said. God said
the word said what the word said.
Hold on, before he even gets into what he's saying, so you're telling me if you take your kid to a medical professional and they do brain scans and examine this child and they determine that this child has a disability or is not going to function at the same cognitive level or functional level in some way as a normal healthy child would, you're just like, F it, they're hating. They just trying to speak ill on my child. They just trying to hate on my child. Like, bro, they spent years upon years to acquire their doctorate, to become a doctor, and they study this stuff day in and day out, work with this type of stuff every day, and you're just gonna throw throw their opinion out. They don't know what they're talking about. Sure, it's crazy.
The God said what the God said. That's what she about to say.
Well, the word said what the word said. God said what the God says. I don't have to accept what you. So it's really like me, like protecting a revelation that I heard from the Lord over my son.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, protecting a revelation, a message from God.
I can't wait when my son start walking and talking. I'm gonna just be like, exactly.
Like I told y'all.
I said it. Nah, I told y'all. He told y'all. Shoot, I was just relaying the message. It's like one of those.
Again, she believes that the world is in the state that it's in because a woman a long time ago got tricked by a talking snake into eating a magic fruit in a garden guarded by an angel with a fire sword. This is the foundation of her belief system. This is why America is where it's at. This is why MAGA is in office. This is why we're at war with Iran. And this is exactly why her son, who's already been handicapped by her decisions, is now going to have an even harder life because there are therapies that children with disabilities can do that actually will improve their ability to function. It makes a huge difference. It makes a significant difference. And so because something spoke to her in her head and told her, oh, your son is gonna be just fine and he doesn't have a disability, and this is now it's all about her again, right? Fuck the kid. This is about her faith is now being tested, right? Oh, do you have enough faith to trust God? Listen, how about you trust a doctor that went to school for 10 years, who's been doing this shit for decades, who took one look at your kid and said, yeah, he has fetal alcohol syndrome. Fetal alcohol syndrome, more than likely, right? Yeah, this shit is so frustrating. All right, so let's take a look. We actually have some videos. I can't even show you the pictures and the videos of the kid because, you know, that ain't that's YouTube's terms and service. They don't like that shit. But if you go on Twitter and type in Chrisean Rock, you're going to see pictures and videos of her kid. Her kid is almost 3 years old. He cannot walk. He cannot talk. Right? Bro.
That's very abnormal.
Crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about beyond missing milestones. This child is a large child, okay?
It's sad because she's in denial that her child has a disability. The child, that's basically what he was saying earlier, that the child is not going to be able to get the proper help with the development to catch him up to speed. He's just going to be missing the fundamental things that he needs to live life. 3 years old, can't walk, can't talk. That's not normal at all. It's not normal. And any chance of him, you know, ain't making any progress towards normalcy, she's hindering with her delusion. It's ridiculous, bro. And the one that gotta suffer the most is the child, because the child's helpless. She's who the child primarily relies on, and nobody can do anything unless, you know, they end up taking the child from her. But then they might go into the foster care system, which is also very messed up. So it's a lose-lose for the child.
Who should be climbing fucking tables at the age that he's at. My daughter is about the same age. My daughter is jumping off tables, bro. What are we talking about? My daughter is doing somersaults at gymnastics. This little baby can't even hold his head up properly yet. Like the kid got a disability. You got to accept that. Now look at this. Look at this post. This is from last year. So this is going viral now in 2026, March 2026. But look at this in October 2025. Video of Chrisean Rock advocating for drinking during pregnancy has resurfaced after people noticed her 2-year-old son struggles and can't do anything for himself. You know you can smoke and drink while you're pregnant. All right, let's.
Like, can you daddy? They all like that. You know you can smoke and drink while you're pregnant. I know a lot of people don't do it, but they do it and they don't know that. I'm sorry, I keep saying
still on it.
Them comments, like, and get that pregnancy shit out my shit. Just stop calming it. Just stop calming it. Just stop calming it. And then 3.
Dead the pregnancy shit.
Yeah,
dead it. Just dead it. For real, dead the pregnancy shit.
You see me deading it? Like, can you dead it? Cheers.
My sis ain't talking about it. I don't gotta talk about it.
Hey,
Like, when it happened.
Wow, man. So she's saying that you can smoke and drink while you're pregnant. Here's actually a picture of her drinking alcohol because she was doing this all on live, right? Here's a video of her, a picture of her actually drinking while she was very pregnant. This ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? She ain't found out she was pregnant yet, and she's been pregnant for a month.
No, you're clearly pregnant.
Right? I think that probably happens fairly often with young women. But here she looks like she's a proper 6-7 months pregnant, still drinking alcohol, man. Right? Oh,
I'm sorry. I started laughing because I thought he was about to do this again. He be doing that sometimes. Like,
my Lord have mercy. Here we actually found the video of her drinking at the club.
Let me see who
Look at that baby bump.
really been flued out in real life, though. Ladies, one more time.
Is that Glorilla? Yeah. Wow.
What you say?
There she is drinking it up. Oh my God, man. This is sickening.
I guess her motto is don't let your pregnancy stop you from being outside. Crazy.
In there fucking fighting for his life. And the people around her are just like none of them are smacking the drink out of her hand, but then again, she's a violent person.
She's already quick to get into fights based off what I've seen from, certain clips and shows and stuff like that she's been on. So I can imagine her being drunk and then pregnant, all the hormones and what being drunk does it affects people differently. But with how that can affect your brain, yeah, even if they tried to tell her, like, girl, you shouldn't be drinking while you're pregnant, or, really was stern about it, like, you need to stop. You shouldn't even be in here at all. I can imagine she'll get irate and quickly turn violent towards them.
Wow, man. Wow. This is some shit, bro. So in this clip, DJ Academics is actually trying to hold Blueface to account because he was saying, look, while Chrisean Rock was behaving in this way, he was supporting the behavior. How did he do that? He was handing her a blunt. He was handing her the bottle of Hennessy while she was pregnant. And so let's take a listen to this where Academics is trying to hold him accountable, but Whack 100 is shooting Blueface some bail. Take a listen.
Of course he
Can we
is.
be honest though? When she was smoking and drinking while pregnant, Blueface was handing her the blunt and the bottle of
Let
Hennessy.
me tell you something.
You gotta be
Last
honest.
time- listen, the last time that nigga tried to take a bottle from her, you know what she did, bro?
What?
You know what she did?
What
She
she
hit him upside the head, nigga. We had to take him to the hospital. They had to pull glass out the back of his fucking head.
No, no, no. I'm not hearing that, bro. I'm not hearing that. We're not finna make no excuses, bro. If I had a woman, and even if it was just somebody who, maybe I had dealings with, and she's carrying my baby some way, somehow, bro. I don't care how mad she get, bro. You will never stop me from letting you know you need to stop drinking and smoking while you're pregnant with our child. I don't care how mad she gets, bro. I'm going to say something every time. Like, she gonna have to sneak and do that because I'm going to say something. She could do all of that extra stuff, but bro, it's too important. Like, you're ruining this child's life. Now you already did. There's a difference between you telling her not to do it and trying to take it from her, and you giving it to her. You supplying her with weed and drink. It's a big difference. So even if sometimes he was like, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that," but then he turned around and supply her with it and give it to her, then that's just hypocritical, and it cancels out anytime he tried to tell her not to. What now she needs to be treated like a baby, and replacing the pacifier and the toy that you take from a baby, and they throw a temper tantrum. Now she's in that same position. If she don't have her weed and drink, now she's going to throw a temper tantrum and go off. So now you just gotta pacify her and give her what she wants so she doesn't throw a fit. Like, man, hell no. But he ain't really the person to hold her accountable anyway. He don't even seem like he would really care about that type of stuff. He didn't even claim the baby through most of the pregnancy, even though he knew it was his.
Oh, she vacuumed it.
What?
We seen on the show. She vacuumed it out of it.
No, nigga. We took that nigga to the hospital. Fuck that show. Fuck what they showing after. I'm telling you.
Truly, Whack 100, though, I truly do not like this guy. I don't have any respect for him at all. The raccoonery that he helps to facilitate through Aiden Ross is actually egregious. This is not how adults, this is not how rational people think or behave, because he's saying, look, Blueface did attempt to stop her from drinking and smoking while she was pregnant. And so when she fought back, that then justifies him allowing her to do it again in the future or co-signing it. Look, if she resists you trying to stop her from engaging in this harmful behavior, the solution is not, okay, well, now I'll co-sign it or now I'll pretend it isn't happening. The solution is you remove yourself from any interactions with her. You condemn her and tell her, hey, I don't want anything to do with you while you're hurting yourself and this baby. You don't go on to like, okay, well, shit, I tried. You don't hit that. You don't say, I tried. Here you go. Here's a bottle of Hennessy. And so it's just dysfunction all around. And the only person here that is truly suffering, who is really going to be the victim in all of this, is, of course, the little boy. Now, I want to return to this original clip where she's talking about her son not having a disability and her receiving a message from God. The reason I want to return to this clip is because it's time to focus in on this bullshit and how Christianity continues to destroy people and hurt people further than they already have been harmed and hurt. It truly is just like a horrible excuse and a terrible cop-out that people use in a variety of ways to engage in destructive and degenerate behavior, really, and to dodge all kinds of accountability. And it's because there is this collective psychosis in Western civilization, because Christianity is the dominant religion and it's such an old tradition. It's like one of those things that people will like hand wave off or kind of like, well, okay, I guess. Why? Because their grandmother is Christian and goes to church, because their mother goes to church. Listen, I don't give a fuck. Okay, this religion is disgusting. Honestly, it's disgusting. It's retarding, meaning it holds society back. It holds people back, and it encourages the worst kinds of behavior. Again, Christianity got Trump in office. Christianity is the reason we're at war in Iran, fighting for Israel, and we have so much. The people that do support it here support it because they believe it's going to help Jesus come back. Christianity is the reason why measles is on the rise again in young children, because they're being convinced that vaccines are somehow bad. It's the reason why global warming is going to destroy our planet, why climate change is destroying our planet, because there is no point in trying to protect the planet thinking 500, 1,000 years into the future and the subsequent generations. I mean, fuck it. I don't even know if the human race will make it that long with the way that we are accelerating climate change. And they don't care because Jesus is going to come back in their lifetime, maybe by their children or their grandchildren. He's more than 2,000 years late. The Bible made it clear that he was supposed to come back quickly, right away. The apostles, that's why Paul the apostle encouraged people not to get married, not to have children, because he was so certain that Jesus was going to come back in their lifetime. It's 2,000 years later. It's a fairy tale. Okay, it's bullshit. But take a listen to this, right? Let's circle back around to how Chrisean Rock is going to use Christianity to justify further neglecting and abusing her son.
Disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he. Right, but it's like, don't tell me. I ain't saying, not even just that. It's like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro.
If a doctor tells you you have cancer, you shouldn't believe it. That's not how this works. You see, this is what they believe because the religion itself is built on deluding yourself. It's built on convincing yourself that something is real and true even though you have no evidence. And in fact, your willingness to believe in the absence of evidence is a sign of the strength of your faith. The more delusional you are, the better of a Christian you are, really. And so it's to the point where they believe in all kinds of nonsense. Like, you can take a look at an MRI or a CT scan or an X-ray and see a growing mass inside of your stomach or inside of your abdominal cavity, right? A cancer is growing, and you believe that I'm just not going to accept that. I'm not going to allow the doctor to speak against me. This is the kind of language that they are taught to use. The doctor is speaking against my child when he says that my child has some kind of mental disability. No, the doctor is just giving you an evaluation. Right? The physical is the manifestation of the spiritual. That means you have engaged in maintaining a type of spiritual frequency that has resulted in the physical appearing. What am I saying? It's already too fucking late. It's already too fucking late. You are already living in sin, right? To use their kind of language. You are already holding that frequency for so long. That was you drinking and smoking and telling yourself that it doesn't matter. That was what you were doing. You see, you are reaping the fruits of that which you have sown. Man must reap what he has sown. This is what you see, this is the thing. You will sow bullshit and then you reap bullshit and then you tell yourself, oh no, this is somebody trying to speak against me. I don't accept this. I don't take this. And so listen to this nonsense, man.
Bro, anybody, if they're guessing or whatever, no, the word said what the word said. God said what the God.
The word said what the word said. God said what the God said. You don't even want to go down that street with me because the Bible clearly says that God doesn't hear the prayers of sinners. And I can just take a look at your lifestyle, take a look at the way you're dressed, take a look at the way you speak, and just reel off all the ways in which you are still living in sin according to the standards of the Bible. And the Bible clearly says that God doesn't hear the prayer of sinners. And so what now? Your son is not going to end up walking and talking and having an above 100 IQ one day so that you can turn around and tell all the haters, look what God did in my son's life. No. In fact, you continuing along with this bullshit is actually going to ensure that he is even more disabled than he would have had to be had he received some kind of help and assistance while he was still in his formative years. And so that is what it is. And you have to accept that. And no amount of Jesus and praying and pats on. See, I know the pastors, you go to some kind of fucking bullshit like stupid church, right? You don't even go to a real church because any church you go to where they're entertaining this nonsense, this is some kind of bullshit, garbage Protestant prosperity gospel church, I can almost guarantee you, where they're telling you that God has a plan for your child and that this is a test of your faith. If that's what they're telling you, you go to a ridiculous clown church. That's not even a real church with a real pastor, right? And they're entertaining this nonsense because you're somebody with some kind of clout and you're going to be used by the Lord to grow the congregation and put more money in the offering plate and bring more people to the Lord. No, the only thing that you have done is you are a perfect modern example of fetal alcohol syndrome. That's all you've done. You know, you've given the world an opportunity to know. Young women all around the world can now look at this situation and be reminded why it is exactly that they should not drink while they are pregnant. But that's a situation, man. That's a situation. This is truly a tragedy.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a lot to say as far as that because I didn't expect him to speak so much about, the religious part of what she was saying. But I mean, I understand what he's saying. I'm not, you know, down in Christianity like he is, but I will say that it does seem like she's trying to use, Christianity to basically wave off the severity of the situation, which is absolutely wrong. And I have seen just through my experience, like some people use their religion to, I guess, not have to think practically, but it's just like, well, my God, whichever one they believe in, is going to take care of it. So I don't have to actually do anything about this situation. I don't have to take it that serious. I don't need to actually do anything to change this. God will take care of it. There's nothing practical about it. It's not even a real problem, which I completely disagree with. Again, it does seem like that's what she's trying to do here, to invalidate what science and the doctors, even though there's science in everything. But yeah, she's trying to use, her belief system to basically wave this situation off and not take it as serious and not take accountability for the fact that she's ruining this child's life and her child is not developing properly. And this is a serious issue that she needs to deal with. This is a serious issue that she needs to actually do something about and not just pray it away or say, oh yeah, well, God's gonna take care of it. Like, listen, you need to take the necessary steps so your child could catch up in its in his development. I don't want to say it, but yeah, in his development. And if you don't, I mean, who knows how this child is going to turn out. It's already looking very bad right now. And there's nobody around her that will also hold her accountable. And when people like this, when they get backlash, all they do is just say you're hating and they just spew insults and, you know, just chalk it up to this is just social media drama. Y'all just want to click to just want some attention. Y'all want to get a reaction out of me. And y'all don't actually care. Blah blah blah. But no, man. Sometimes it really is fair criticism and something you need to really change about yourself. And in this case, this is one of those situations. But let's see what else he got for us.
My heart goes out to that young boy who will never have a normal life because his mother was evil. See, this is not just her being stupid. This is not just her a result of the way she was raised. This is not like women get pregnant as teenagers without a father, in poverty, with poor education, and they still know they're not supposed to drink while they're pregnant. You know what I mean? This is a kind of deliberate evil that nothing about your demographic, nothing about you being black, nothing about you being a woman, nothing about your relationship with your father, nothing about whatever religions you were exposed to. There is literally nothing that can excuse this level of negligence. And it truly is infuriating because I have 3 children. I'd want to, man, boy, oh boy. If I was with a woman who did something like this, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't even blame Blueface. I mean, I do have to blame Blueface to some degree, but I couldn't even blame a man who wouldn't want to interact with their child. if they tried to stop this woman from doing this and she still did this, I wouldn't even blame the man. Like because just out of how angry I would get so angry every time I saw that child.
I'm gonna be honest. Like if I was in this situation, I'm now that the child is out, I'm gonna have to overstep. I'm sorry, like, cause women usually get the custody and stuff like that. So, not in this case, I don't even think he cares about that. Uh, Blueface, I'm speaking on. But me personally, if she's not gonna let me take the child and take care of it so he can get the proper help, then I'm at least have to call somebody to see if they can, go ahead and get that child and get it the proper help that it needs. Since she clearly won't, she's not really fit to be a mother. Obviously, yeah. Let's see what his closing thoughts are.
Woman, but then again, what are you doing messing around with a chick like this anyway, right? What are you doing?
They're similar
now, right? It's horrible. It's horrible what was done here, truly. But all right, that's my rant, I suppose. It kind of became a little emotional there at the end, didn't it? Because as a father of 3, this is just there are people who try their absolute best to like be healthy, to have a good diet, to stay away from smoking and drinking and even high stress environments. There are women who jump through all kinds of hoops trying to ensure that their pregnancy goes well, and they still have this.
That's one reason why I was speaking on her. Like when I said she's not even supposed to be in the club, like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stimulations. There's drinking, smoking in there. It's loud music. It's just a lot. It could negatively affect the pregnancy. You putting yourself in situations so you're too stressed out. Of course, like we already spoke on the drinking and smoking. You know what I mean? Just things like that. Eating a bunch of BS, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's why I was saying that she's not posted, that she shouldn't even be in there. And also, there's a lot of stuff that can happen that's unpredictable. If you're in environments like the club or certain spaces, yeah, it's just not good for anybody who's kind of vulnerable like that. Going through pregnancy.
Children, because that's just how this shit goes sometimes, unfortunately. And then here you are, literally doing everything you can to hurt that baby. Oh my God, man. There are women who want to get pregnant, can't get pregnant. There are women who want to have a child, keep miscarrying. There are women who try their best to be healthy during the pregnancy, and then here you are doing everything you could to sabotage that baby. And then you want to parade the baby around now that he is damaged, because as a way of like trying to show the world that you didn't handicap your child, and trying to say, look, God is going to do a wonderful work in him. No. You are truly a terrible mother.
Yeah, man. So that's been your video. Yeah, man. Some people, I don't believe everybody should have kids, just like I don't believe there's somebody for everybody. Some people just really just don't need it. Like you said, there's people who wish every day and is trying to have a child. Some people aren't capable of it. They just weren't born with the ability. And here you go, just taking it for granted, doing everything you're not supposed to be doing while pregnant and having a child. And then you're in denial. So now the child is going to have an extremely rough life or even worse. Yeah, man, that's been my thoughts. You let me know yours down in the comment section below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified every time I drop a video. Until next time, I'm out.